Good morning and welcome to season 2 of Coffee Conversations. My name is Heidi Ellsworth and I'm a partner with Roofers Coffee Shop, and I am really excited this morning. First of all, the fact that we're starting season 2 of Coffee Conversations, live Q&A for all of you out there, that we can ask questions, find out what's going on around the country, and really, things that are all about roofing. Today, one of our well, as we know, our biggest events of roofing is the International Roofing Expo. And I am very happy to welcome Ray Giovine here today to talk to us about what the heck is happening with IRE in 2021. We have so much happening with COVID, and the folks at Informa are doing an amazing job. So Ray, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
I've had a lot of people emailing and calling and saying we're so excited to hear kind of what the plans are. But before we really get to all of that, let's start with, maybe there's one or two people out there who aren't familiar with the IRE. Why don't you just let everybody know a little bit about the show and what happens during that week, the whole big picture of IRE.
All right, thank you. And again, Heidi, thank you for having me on your show this morning, or on your podcast this morning. My name is Ray Giovine. I'm the Group Director of the International Roofing Expo. I've been, just a little bit of history about myself, I've been with Informa fairly recently. I just came on board right before the last roofing show this past year. So I started in January of this year. Previously, I was the Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Hanley Wood, which deals with also the construction audience. So I'm very familiar with the roofing construction segments of the business. In regards to the roofing show specific, the International Roofing Expo is the #1 event for the roofing and exterior construction industries. We bring the professional community together to provide them with an up-to-date industry knowledge and the largest selection of products and services. The Roofing Expo, the International Roofing Expo, is a 3-day event. It features conference programming that usually happens in the mornings, and then exhibition time, throughout the afternoon. Our conference program has over 40 sessions, and the expo hall showcases over 500 brands displaying the latest products and services. During the IRE, you can participate in events such as our annual Community Service Day. We have our keynote session, and along with our welcome party. Last year, we featured our first ever female keynote speaker, Charlotte Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. She's the president and the chief brand officer. She did an amazing job. And we're still in the process of finalizing our keynote speaker for the 2021 show in April. In addition to the IRE events, the National Roofing Contractors Association hosts their annual event or annual convention in conjunction with the show, along with the National Women in Roofing. They host their annual education day a couple days before the show opens.
So, Ray, all of those things, we all love it, right? We love it. But sometimes I think folks are a little confused about, how does the NRCA and Informa, how do you guys work together? What's that relationship? And kind of tell us a little bit more about how that came to be.
Sure. First off, a little bit about our corporate structure, or Informa. Informa is the largest trade show organizer in the world. We're the leading international events, intelligence, and scholarly research company, and we work in a wide range of areas or segments in the marketplace, such as health and nutrition, finance, fashion, licensing, construction, and real estate, to name a few. Some of our events that you may be familiar with are like, World of Concrete, the International Services Expo, Pool and Spa, the Pool and Spa Patio Show. So those might be some of the shows that you might be familiar with. Informa Markets, which is the segment that we work in, we're the global events division, and we organize over 500 trade shows around the world, B2B events in 15 markets in over 40 countries. We do 250 shows specifically here in the U.S. in regards to the NRCA, that show was founded, that specific show, the roofing show, was founded in 1955 by the National Roofing Contractors Association, and it was called the NRCA Convention and Trade Show. In May of 2004, Hanley Wood Exhibitions acquired the show and rebranded it the International Roofing Expo, or IRE. Currently, the IRE is owned and produced by Informa Markets, who acquired the show from Hanley Wood Exhibitions back in December 2014. The NRCA is a vital part of the roofing community, and we continue to have a strong partnership and relationship with them. They are the official show sponsor of IRE and host their annual convention in conjunction with the show each year. And we enjoy our relationship and are working together with the NRCA to help improve the roofing industry.
That is cool. Well, we wanted to kind of start out with some of that information because I know we kind of assume everybody knows all about it, but I think that really thank you so much bringing that out and letting people know, kind of what it all is, how it started, and what's going on. I know my very first IRE, we called it the NRCA at that point, was 1994. So been going for a number of years, but we really, it's kind of like old home, it's reunion week for all of us in roofing to be able to do that. So I want to thank you again, everybody who's out there and who's listening at this nice and bright 6:00 in the morning on the West Coast for Ray and I. And I want to remind everybody that this is a Q&A. This is for a chance for you to ask questions. We have questions here that have been sent in ahead of time. We're going to keep working through, but this is a chance for you to ask questions and really kind of find out what you're wondering about for IRE. And so don't forget your control panel over here. We have Miss Megan Ellsworth in the background, and she'll be bringing you on live or asking your questions, whatever you're more comfortable with. And so don't be shy. Get in there to that control panel, ask your questions, chat it up, and we're going to keep going and learn exactly what's going to be happening. So you know what, Ray, I think we just need to go right to the heart of it. So what's happening? We know it's been a tough year with COVID, and everybody was wondering, and then you came out with this great announcement a couple weeks ago that you've changed the dates of the show. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the International Roofing Expo will take place in 2021. We recently made the decision to reschedule the show or to move the show from February to our new dates, which are April 14th to 16th. It'll still be held in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, which we're super excited about.
Wow. Okay. So Mandalay in April, there's a lot going on. What are some of the big events? What kind of any news on that front of what's going to be taking place around the April? As in, I know we usually start with National Women in Roofing and then move in. So just kind of give us a recap again of what the week is going to look like.
Well, I mean, it'll be move in as normal, at the first, day or two before the show. There'll be the National Woman in Roofing event. Everything pretty much exactly the way that it was going to happen in February is going to be moved to April. So we actually have the exact same exhibit halls. We're confirming and reconfirming the same speakers, the same educational sessions. Still working with our partners, NRC, and NRCA, along with the National Women in Roofing. So you're not going to see really any difference at all, just the dates moved from February to April.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And why, kind of a little bit of insight on, this had to be a lot of discussion behind this. So why was the decision made to postpone the show until April?
After, we kind of brought in all our partners, and after ongoing discussions with all the stakeholders and with full support from the team over at NRCA, we made the proactive decision to reschedule from February to April 14th to 16th. And it was really just to ensure that everybody had a productive and a relaxed environment for everyone, and we felt it was the right choice for the community and the industry. And we just wanted to give the world, or give our, exhibitors and visitors a little bit of extra time to, be comfortable attending a trade show.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, we've got some questions here, Ray. So this is pretty dang exciting. Megan, I know you got some folks coming. We have, I see Josie Parks is out there and he has a question. Karen Edwards, our editor, has some questions. So let's, while Megan's working on bringing those in, I think I'll kind of start here. And this was one of our next questions anyway. Karen Edwards, who is the editor of Roofers Coffee Shop, she was saying, can we talk a little bit about safety virus protocol calls? And so I know we've talked a lot about the Informa All Secure. So how is that working?
Yes, Informa All Secure, like I mentioned earlier, Informa is a global company and we work in 40 countries. So we've kind of come up with a standardized process throughout our trade show world. So the IRE will adapt those same protocols. It's called Informa All Secure at our 2021 event. All Secure is Informa's approach to ensuring the highest standards of safety, hygiene, and cleanliness and quality for all of our operating events. These measures are in addition to the guidance that we receive from the government, the local authorities, and even the convention center, Mandalay Bay, or any of our venues. As we get closer to the show, we'll have more specific details regarding on-site procedures because they're constantly changing, being updated, being either stricter or less strict. So that's sort of a moving target. So as it gets closer, we will, let everybody know. But we do have a webpage dedicated to health and safety information on the show website, the RE website. You can find more details on the All Secure plan, show updates, and also frequently asked questions.
Okay. And so I guess, as we're looking at this, and that was one of the things, but we're going to have all the safety protocols, but still, we really won't know about I'm sure the mask, but are we going to know about some of those things, or is that really as we get closer to April?
Exactly. Right now, there are no shows really happening in Las Vegas right now, so it's sort of like a work in progress. But masks, social distancing, whether we need to spread out the aisles a little bit wider, all those sort of stuff will sort of come into play as we get closer to the show, and like I said, the standards are either stricter or more lax because whether there's a vaccine or whatever, people feel more comfortable. So it's a work in progress, but please continue to go to the website for the latest, greatest information.
Yeah, and another reason why you push back to April, to give it a little bit of time to try to figure a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah, and we still thought, and again with input from our stakeholders, that it was still, we know that it's starting to get into the work cycle of our roofer community, but we still thought that April was still a good enough time, to be able to bring the community together.
Perfect. That is awesome. And then I had another question here about contactless registration. Any changes coming up with registration or social distancing, no contact? How's that going to work?
Yeah, and again, that's still a work in progress too. We're blessed with a large number of attendees at the show, and we're working on different ways, between plexiglass and staggering of times and contactless. So again, registration is not going to open up until later in the year, I believe in November. So by then, we'll have that information. So we're still working with the venue itself, along with our All Secure, sort of guidelines. So, stay tuned.
Perfect. Okay. Well, sorry, I'm just checking my notes here because we have people coming in. Megan, you ready to bring in Josie Parks? Bring him live. We're working on it. All right,
Josie, you're on.
Am I here? Hello, Miss Heidi.
Good morning, Josie.
Good morning. It's definitely not as early on the East Coast as West Coast, so.
It's good to hear your voice. It's been a long summer. I hope all is well in your part of the world.
It is going awesome. No complaints here. Same to you.
Good. Well, Josie, I already know you know Ray. Josie is actually on the advisory board for the IRE, so we get to sit together and which I am very fortunate to be on that board also. So Josie, what are your questions?
Yeah, so it's really exciting the fact that we get to have IRE. I've actually been going since 2009, so it's something that has been a game changer for me in my business, and obviously the network and the people you get to meet. So I'm very excited that y'all decided to continue on. One of my questions, when it comes to the protocols, are y'all? I mean, because this is a big deal for roofing community, I believe, and so this may be a difficult question. But are y'all going to mandate everyone to wear masks there? Do y'all feel like the show floor is going to force people to do that, or how do you feel about that, Ray?
You know what? I don't believe that we're going to mandate, specifically. We're going to follow the local protocols of both the convention center, Las Vegas, the city, and the state. So, or the county and the state. So we're just going to kind of wait. We're still 5, 6, 7 months away from the show. So I think there's plenty of time to kind of understand, which direction we're going to go in.
I was just asking because I've had a few people ask me about it specifically, like, do you know if they're going to do it? It's like, well, it's probably just like the rest of the world. Like, they have no control whether or not they can do that, but whatever the local guidelines are. So
yeah, and Josie, you know what? I think too, what we are really looking at is, and one of the reasons they put it back till April is because everything's changing so fast. And Las Vegas hasn't even, I've talked to a lot of different people, and Las Vegas hasn't even really put into place all of their rules yet on how to kind of go back to the conventions. So with everything closed, but we may do it. It looks like Ray has jumped off and he's going to come back on. I don't know. Josie, I know you're getting ready for hurricanes in your part of the world. We're dealing with wildfires out here, and Ray's in the middle of them too, down in LA.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that red there in Oregon. That's
in
crazy.
Oregon. It was nuts. It is crazy.
2020.
So, I know. So you know what, Josie? Since I've got you here, tell us a little bit. On Coffee Conversations, we just always want to kind of be checking in with everyone around the country. And so, as we're learning about IRE or our topic of the week, I'm also curious how things are going. Can you share with us what's happening in Florida and how your business is going? Kind of, give us an update.
Totally. So I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at CMR Construction and Roofing. And so, we are one of the largest roofing companies in the nation. I think last year we were number 12. This year we plan to be number 1. No, now we're moving. So we've got a very strong sales force. Our production team and back end, we've really been building out. And so, the difference in our company and most others is we're not a sales company necessarily. We're a roofing and construction company focused on building beautiful roofs, and it makes it really easy for reps to sell. So, at this point, we have over 200 sales reps across Florida. Wow. And so this is insane. But we sold 700 roofs in the last week, and so it's a record-setting week for us, and so it's just going really well here in Florida, and I absolutely love it. And marketing, we're doing a lot of creative things in marketing, and so I think that's been a big game changer for us. We have all types of canvas programs and inbound, outbound marketing, and so the fact that the climate, the pandemic, whatever everything going on all at once, there was a lot of different factors that have come to play, and growth mindset. You can't let those types of things bother you. Stay focused on it. Put really good practices in place early on for, basically OSHA, CDC, what they were saying, and, got into digital contracts. So we made a lot of changes to our process, and it's just been super effective. And, we're really excited, and I love this Florida market. I mean, it's so fun here.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm so glad things are going good. And we've been seeing all that activity out in the Atlantic, so we're going to be keeping our, watching all of you over there in Florida to stay safe.
Yeah, for sure. Today's actually the last day for Irma, from 3 years ago. Let's talk about timing. They, from 3 years ago when Irma hit. So it's crazy to think that another hurricane to hit like that. So we're just
Putting
having some
together.
fun over here.
Well, now, Josie, let's see. Did you have any other questions about IRE also? Just, I want to make sure, because I saw you had a couple here. You want to know about safety and what else?
I was just curious, when it comes to the educational classes and all the speakers, at what point are y'all going to release that list so everyone knows who to really plan for and what sessions to go to?
Well, thank you for that, and again, thanks for bearing with me. Well, we have a large part of the 2021 conference already confirmed. The speakers for that were already, in place, have been great to work with, and they're very flexible in trying to move over to from the February dates to the April dates. The conference program features over 40 educational sessions taught by highly respected, knowledgeable industry experts. The sessions will cover, topics like industry trends, business, technology, safety, leadership management, sales, and legal aspects of the roofing business. The great thing about our conference program, as usual, that the programs don't overlap with the exhibit hall, so they can participate in both the sessions and the expo time. And we also offer free educational sessions on the show floor. These are exhibitor led, and they'll teach you ways to improve your business, along with providing tips to overcome industry challenges. I guess sort of the final answer on that is once registration opens, like in November, there'll be an updated schedule, you'll be able to find out more about the specific sessions and everything confirmed. So again, just sort of bear with us. Once registration opens, everything will be published and online.
November it is.
And in the meantime, we've given a sneak peek that Josie and I will both be speaking at the IRE. So there's probably some more people out there who've gotten those nice letters from Brandy. So
yeah, those are awesome.
I know.
I don't know about time and how many more people. One more question that I had when it comes to this year, and each year it seems like it's grown a lot, and just the environment, it's just so energetic, and so I've loved the last few years. So it seems like ever since y'all have taken over, the show's just increased. And so a question that I have: are there any changes this year coming that y'all are planning against versus other years? Any new improvements, or y'all think it's going to be even bigger than the last year?
Well, we are hoping that it's going to be bigger than last year. I mean, we broke record attendance, for the past 2 years in a row. Some of the new things that are coming this year, we're going to have a new pavilion on the show floor dedicated to siding and windows. And we're going to be expanding these segments of the construction industry. And we thought it was sort of a natural fit for the IRE. There are many roofing companies that provide other services, including siding replacement, window replacement, and building products that envelop the construction services. So we're excited to showcase these sort of companies and more products and services that our attendees are looking for.
That's awesome.
The other changes obviously will be the all secure Informa, the health safety stuff. But again, we'll know more as it gets closer to the date.
So yeah, I mean, that's a big deal for a lot of roofers. They deal with the windows and doors, things like that, just as little side jobs. So I think it's awesome y'all are going to really start raising awareness to other roofers who may not be, aware of who to use or how to do it. So that's huge. Y'all are leveling up. So way to go.
Yeah, we're trying to become a one-stop shop. So
yeah.
Josie, that goes right along with what the NRCA is doing too, with all the push on residential and really being out there. So I agree. I think that's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see all the whole exterior concept.
Totally. So cool. But yeah, thanks for answering my questions.
Josie, thank you so much for being on. It's so good to hear your voice, and take care there in Florida. And we'll see you. We're going to bring on, we have another question, another live panelist with George Dacey. So he's coming on next.
George, you are ready to come on.
Thank you, Megan. Hi, George. Oh, George, you're muted. Got to take off the mute.
How about now?
There you go. We got you. Perfect.
Yeah, the window just popped. It took a few seconds. Let me unmute. So, hello, everybody.
Hello, George. Hey, George.
I got a quick one.
Can you tell us where you're from and your business and all that? So before you ask your question.
Oh, sure thing. George Daisy. I work for Dow Incorporated, formerly the Dow Chemical Company. So I'm located in southern New Jersey, in that southwest corner, kind of close to Delaware. So that's where I live, and I commute up to Pennsylvania for Dow. So yeah, I heard some of the other stories. We see this on the news. What you're going through out there with the fires and in the South with the storms, and we're a little bit safer here. But what's been happening this summer is we get like the storms that hit the South travel up here, and we get the backlash from it. So we're not getting hurricane winds, but we're getting high winds. We're getting a lot of flooding. So there's been a lot of flooding, trees coming down, and things like that. So it's not to the degree of what some of you are going through. So we think about you all the time, but still in our own little corner, that's kind of what we're dealing with this summer.
Wow, George. Thank you. Stay safe. It's weird everywhere, I'm telling you. So
it is. It's a little different wherever you are, right?
It is. So what's your question about IRE?
I think it's a simple one, but it just came to mind. So we're going to meet in April this year. Is this an opportunity to do a reset and make April the normal month, or will we revert back to sort of February in the coming years? What do you think?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, we haven't given it much thought, but I mean, I guess it's open for discussion. But I mean, we thought that we would go back to the February timeline. It seemed like the best sort of dates to kind of sort of before the roofing season ramped up. So for right now, we are planning to go back to February because we have February dates committed in the future. But I guess it is open for we could see how well received it is from the from attendees and exhibitors.
George, that's an interesting question. I think that's a great question too, because coming from an exhibitor side, which a lot of us are, and Dow is a big exhibitor, it is kind of hard sometimes coming off the new year and then right into February. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of works in with everybody's, marketing years and everything hitting in April instead this year.
Yeah, and one of the things I experience sometimes in the February timeframe is competing shows that, besides IRE, there's other shows going on sometimes the same week that we need to attend. So we have to divide and conquer, right?
Right.
And that way. So I don't know in April, if there probably are other big shows that we have to compete with as well. So maybe it's the same problem no matter what time of year. But that could be another thing.
We when we were talking with the NRCA and some of the other partners, I mean, there was like a small window in April that we were able to find, and thankfully the venue had space. But there were also several competing shows and other annual meetings and conventions that and regional events that were happening. So it is like a puzzle piece. So like I said, you're always probably going to step on somebody's toes. It's just the least amount of toes that you can step on.
Totally makes sense.
It's great. Hey, George, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being on here on the coffee shop, and keep coming back. I love your question. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, and we have another question, Ray, very similar to what George has kind of asked, and it's from Matt Davis. And I'm not sure if Matt's still on or wants to come on live. If you do, Matt, raise your hand and Megan can pop you on. But he asked, are there any contingency plans in place in case in person is not possible? So possibly for people, first of all, I think he's asking a contingency plan if something does happen, but also for people who can't attend, are there ways for them to watch on demand, or is there going to be any virtual options?
We are working on that right now to kind of perhaps have sort of a hybrid event, in conjunction with the in-person event. So we're working through that right now. I think we have a meeting on that in 2 weeks. So we'll have, the honest answer is we'll have some more information with you shortly. But it is something, that we're looking for in the future, and also believe that it's also going to be part of pretty much all trade shows going forward. That there'll be both an in-person and an online or a digital, hybrid event to go along with it. Because also too, it opens up to wider educational opportunities and learning opportunities. So stay tuned. But we do believe that there will be some sort of hybrid component to the show.
I think I agree with you. That's just the way of the future. And so those kind of opportunities, just like this morning live, where we're going to be able to still network and get together. And so I can tell you also, Roofers Coffee Shop has an amazing partnership with Informa. And I love your team, Ray. They are just the best to work with.
They are.
And so I think there's going to be a lot of different opportunities for live. Maybe we'll do a live show like this from IRE. You never know. There's going to be a lot of different opportunities to try to get that hybrid opportunity. So I love that you guys are already planning and putting that together. Now I do want to, and Mark Graham from NRCA, hello, good morning, Mark, is on, and he did want to say that many of the sessions are already posted on the IRE website, the Roofing Expo. So of course, both Ray and I are like, oh yeah, but they're there, so you can see some of the classes that have already been confirmed and that are happening in their timeline. And I can tell you right now, Mark Graham does a lot of speaking at IRE, and it's always amazing. The most up-to-date technical. So that's definitely something for everybody out there to be watching for and to go look it up. And we're also going to be posting a bunch of that on the coffee shop and many places as we try to get in front of everybody. So, okay, Ray, we do have a couple, Megan, I think we have a couple other people out there coming on. I see Wendy Marvin has a question. And just let me know when you're ready there, but we'll keep going as soon as you're ready to. Are we ready?
We have Michelle Boykin up next with a question.
Michelle Boykin from Nashville. Yay! Good morning, Michelle. Hey.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are good. Great. Michelle, meet Ray.
Hi, Michelle.
So first of all, Heidi, I have a question for you. I'm really excited about this diversity and inclusion educational session. Do you know the day and time you're going to do it? I want to make sure I sign up.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, I don't have it in front of me, but I will. I'll get it. We'll get it out on there. And like we said, it's on the Roofing Expo, and it is Allison LaValle. She runs that and leads the Diversity Inclusion Committee as the VP, as the Vice President at NRCA. So I'm just really lucky to be speaking with her, and we're going to talk about really generations and stuff that you and I talk about all the time that we love.
Oh yeah. So my question for you, Ray, is more of kind of a recommendation question. The event is always just so focused on networking and, interaction, National Women in Roofing Day beforehand, all the events during the week, all the booths that you visit. Do you have suggestions for those of us like National Women in Roofing that can kind of help us to make sure that we are being safe, but also not missing out on that personal interaction that we
have? Well, you're talking about attending the show specifically, or
yes, the actual in-person.
Well, again, like I said, we want everybody to feel comfortable at the show, and whether that means mandating masks if that's the specific protocol at the time. Like I said, we're still sort of working on whether we're going to increase the space between the aisles so people aren't sort of walking or bumping into each other. Will there be space between the booths? There'll be cleaning stations or hand sanitizing stations throughout the show floor. So I think, we're going to do everything and along with registration, the contactless registration. We're working on all that sort of thing, or all those protocols and safety activities. So I think, in a combination of I think we're going to go over and above everything that we need to do. And again, there's going to be, venue requirements, city requirements, state requirements. So I think between all of them, we're going to create a very safe and healthy and hygienic environment. And then, whatever we all do personally on top of that, I think is going to create, a good environment. But I think, from the business point of view, or from our point of view, we're going to do everything, everything available to us to make sure that there's a safe environment for everybody.
Thank you so much.
I also want to make sure that everybody knows, first of all, Michelle, you're Rackley Roofing out of Nashville, but Michelle is the upcoming chairwoman of National Women in Roofing. So she is going to be in charge, and I'm so excited about that. So maybe since we've got everybody on here and we're talking our IRE, and I know we're really at the very beginning, Michelle, but maybe just a quickie on National Women in Roofing Day and how that fits in and what you guys are kind of looking at.
Yeah. So if you've never been before, I would suggest that you attend, men and women. Last year, we got to give an award to Heidi as our first World Award winner, which was really exciting. But we have a full day of education and networking and mentoring. We do a mixture. And I haven't heard if we're going to do the same thing, but I think we are. Last year, we kind of did sort of a TED Talks version where we just had different people coming up and speaking about different subjects. And then we did some breakout sessions. We had somebody do headshots last year for us.
Yes.
So we try to just really encompass everything that we can in that day. Right now, we are planning it as though it's happening in person. And that's kind of, we figure, well, we'll do it this way until we hear otherwise. So we're really excited about it. And that's kind of why I was asking, for any suggestions, because we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to keep everybody safe. But there is that in-person contact that you really have to have that helps with networking and mentoring and all those things. So super excited.
Yeah. I want to say too, we got Wendy on here too. Ray, you are surrounded by women in roofing right now. One of the things, as everybody, and Ray's going to really hit on this, we're going to kind of talk about this towards the end of the hour on making plans for IRE in April. But I just really, anybody out there, make sure you include National Women in Roofing Day in your plans. So it's always 2 days before the show opens, and it is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I'm not even going to, be humble. It's just the most wonderful thing in the world. And so be sure to come in early and attend the National Women in Roofing Day, men and women. It is incredibly inspirational. So Michelle, you are inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So Ray, I think we have another question. Wendy is coming on.
We actually have Katya.
Oh, Katya.
Coming on. Katya, you are unmuted. There she is.
Hello.
Morning.
You seem to be muted, Katya, on your end.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
There we go.
I'm sorry about that. Good morning. How are y'all?
Good morning. Good.
Good. So my question for you, Ray, is what are you most excited about for the IRE? And what do you have to look forward to?
I'm excited that we're actually planning to have an in-person event, quite honestly. All of our shows, and all of the shows that were scheduled in the fall, both, our Informa shows and all trade shows have been postponed or canceled or turned into a virtual event. So I'm very excited that, we're planning to have this, IRE event in April. I think that with the program that we have lined up and building on the successes of last year, with National Women in Roofing and with all the programs and educational stuff, with this new siding and windows pavilion that we have. I mean, we just have a lot of positive aspects, happening at the show. We're excited to be back in Las Vegas. And we also think that if any city, at any point in time is going to be able to put on a trade show, it's going to be Las Vegas. So I just think there's a lot of positive aspects about, going into the show in general. So we're just trying to build on that and the momentum going into the show.
Yep, that is awesome. I know that the energy when Charlotte Jones was talking and we brought up Las Vegas, everyone just screamed and it was awesome. We were all super excited. I know myself, I was worried as to what was going to play out with everything in this virus. And I know that a lot of people in this industry are super excited that it's still happening. So that is awesome. I'm very excited.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Okay, so Katya, you got to tell us a little bit about your company. I know, but I want you to tell everybody else. And also, was last year your first year at the IRE?
Yes, I am pretty new in the roofing industry, just a little bit over a year. And my first IRE was last year. First National Women in Roofing was also last year. So it got me very excited to get into the industry, and it really helped boost my, So a little bit about myself. I'm the project coordinator for LTD Exteriors. We're a roofing company based in North Carolina. We handle mostly slate and tile roofs, and we do some sheet metal work as well. We've been very fortunate during the coronavirus to stay in business. We've been very busy, actually. So things have changed, of course. We worked remotely for months and had to adjust a lot, but we have been pretty busy, and now we're getting the ball rolling with everybody getting back into the offices and stuff. So it's getting back to it. I know things are a lot different, but we're working on it.
Love it. So real quick, tell us, obviously you met Megan Ellsworth, my daughter, last year. You guys became friends. And why should young people in the industry come to IRE? What is in it for all our young professionals?
Honestly, I would have never imagined that I would be in this industry, and just coming to an event like that to see so many successful people that are so passionate about the industry and enjoy it so much. It's not just a job. I know everybody says you want to find something that you love to do. And I see that so many people in this industry that vocalize how great it is. They really have that passion for it. And it's really, it brings a lot of confidence to me and a lot of motivation to stay in the industry and see what I can get from it.
There you go, Ray. There's the next generation of attendees right there.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Katya. Thank you. Say hi to Michelle and Christian.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so I think we have, I'm double checking, we have a couple other questions, but before we, as they're getting ready, Ray, one of the questions we had come in was about charitable events. Roofing is about giving back, and I know there's a lot that goes on during IRE. What's some of the updates on that front?
Well, thank you for that question. We'll be hosting our 12th annual Community Service Day in partnership with the local chapter of the nonprofit Rebuilding Together. Each year, volunteers come out early in the day to help make repairs and renovations to homes of low-income homeowners in the specific area in need. This event allows us in the roofing industry and gives us the chance to connect and make a difference with the local community. This day would also not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors each year. So, thank you and a shout out to them. They donate materials, their time, labor, and help make this project very successful. Also, the NRCA also hosts the Roof Pack, the silent auction in the NRCA booth. During this time, the auction can be held with a wide selection of, fantastic and fabulous items, with all proceeds benefiting the Roof Pack. And the Roof Pack is the NRCA's political action committee, and it's the only pack that's dedicated to supporting the roofing industries in Washington, D.C. So those are some of the things that are happening in regards to charitable events.
And I know we also always have the Raise the Roof Foundation does the big concert every year at the end too. And I'm not going to give it away, but I heard some rumors yesterday, some great rumors about that concert's still on and it's going to be going. So we actually are going to be coming out with that here pretty soon too. So there's so many ways to give back and so many ways that are fun and good, and you really make lasting relationships.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool. I did want to, okay, so it looks like April 15th, I'll be speaking on diversity, just in case, just so Michelle has that, 7:45. So it is out on IRE, theroofexpo.com. So check that out, or theroofingexpo.com. And I wanted to see too, okay, so I'm just checking our questions here, so forgive me everyone, because we have a few more that are coming up. Any changes? Someone had a question here. Are there any changes from past years?
Well, like I said, the changes, I kind of went into this. I mean, changes we have in the new siding pavilion, obviously the safety and health protocols, but nothing. I mean, there's nothing new. There's going to be so much new, but I mean, no big changes other than we're adding that siding pavilions, and then again, most importantly, the safety protocols.
Okay. And I know you said November is the time to kind of watch for everything. Can you go over that just talking about the hotels again, because people are kind of wondering, we always get a little nervous, like when should I get my hotel booked? What should I be doing? Can you I know we have people coming in and out of this. Can you kind of go over that again, what people should be doing?
Sure. And again, we had room blocks, blocked off at Mandalay Bay for the February events, and all those got moved to April. But you are going to have to go back online and rebook, mostly for the manufacturers because registration wasn't open yet. So anyway, registration for the show is going to open up in November, and we're in the midst of finalizing our hotel blocks for the new dates, and that should be ready in a few weeks. So keep going back to the website, the Roofing Expo, to get more information. And you can sign up to get notified when registration opens and when to book the hotel blocks and all that information. Again, it's on theroofingexpo.com.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've really been impressed with too is your e-news, and you've been putting out some great e-news and also some great original content, some articles, also taking submissions from exhibitors and from other partners. That people should be signing up for that also, right?
Yes, very much so. Yes, earlier in the year we launched, a bi-monthly newsletter, so it comes out twice a month, and it goes out to 38,000 industry professionals. Issues in the newsletter, highlights the latest news industry, or industry news. I'm sorry, show updates, exclusive articles, and content more. You can read all that information. If you get it directly in your inbox, but you can also find it online on their IRE website. Last year, we also introduced Regina the Roofer, the official IRE customer care chatbot. Again, you can also find Regina the Roofer on the website 24/7 to answer your questions about the show. So the ENL, the e-newsletter, is a great tool. So we encourage you all to sign up for it to get the latest and most up-to-date information about the show and all things in regards to roofing.
We did have a question here too from Melissa Simon. Will there be something charitable dedicated to Lake Charles, Louisiana, to help rebuild after Hurricane Laura?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer for that right now, but we can get back to you in regards to that. I know that we do have some charitable things already in place, but we can get back with you on that.
Perfect. And I would also say, Melissa, be sure to check Raise the Roof Foundation with SRS, because I was just talking to them yesterday, and they are doing a lot of disaster relief too for the roofing industry, and they probably have something going. We didn't talk specifically about Hurricane Laura, but I know that they're doing a lot. So that would be another thing. SRS is a huge part of the IRE as our ABC and Beacon. So those are a lot of folks that you can check in with there too. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, as we're looking at the IRE for first timers, I'm really happy to say Roofers Coffee Shop is a sponsor of the first timers reception and event. And I know we haven't got full details on anything of that, but I do want to kind of just to encourage, like we talked with Katya, to encourage first timers. If there's people on here who have never been to the IRE before, just maybe Ray, talk just to those first timers, like this about them coming to Las Vegas, and it's, as Katya said, it's just a great thing for them to do for their career and for their business.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I was the first timer this past iteration of the show. We have that reception, and it's just a good play. It's just a good networking event for people's first time to the show. But it's also just a great way to just walking the show floor is to to kind of understand a little bit about the business and the different manufacturers and you can take advantage of the education and just all things roofing. Whether you want to get involved on the charitable side, whether you want to just learn a little bit about the business itself. See the sort of the latest, newest, most innovative products that are coming out. I just think there's all sorts of great, sort of educational learning and, just sort of, curiosity, type things that are happening, throughout the show. So I just think it's a great way to, if you're starting into the industry, to kind of see it all in one place.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's so many great people and so much to learn. Well, we're gonna take one last question because we're getting to the top of our hour. So we're gonna be bringing Wendy Marvin on. Megan's bringing her here. Wendy actually was with us last year. She helped us in the booth, Roofers Coffee Shop at IRE last year, and she's coming to us from Vancouver. Good morning, Miss Wendy. Welcome.
Good morning. Sorry, a little late arrival this morning. I was having connectivity issues because of, we don't know if it's the fires or what, but internet stinks right now. It's crazy. Glad you're safe and online too.
I know.
I just wanted to reiterate, just talking about NWIR and the IRE event in general. I think a lot of times roofing companies get a little overwhelmed when I think about an International Roofing Expo, but I wanted to share an experience just talking about, being there and connecting with a group that was there from Korea and talking with their interpreter about connecting with the ladies at NWIR, especially first-timer events. I saw Michelle posted, but a great way if you're a female, because this is still a different industry for us, but a great way as a new person would be to NWIR event. And then just, it feels to me like our family of roofing really comes together. And I think you guys at IRE really make that happen with the ways that you, we were even, the way I connected with the people from Korea was the Rosie the Roofer. What was the app again you mentioned? Regina the Roofer. We were looking for the next clue together. And, I think that sometimes you don't think about those things, but, the IRE is just an amazing event. I don't want to wrap up with a negativity, but I wanted to ask you, are you seeing a difference in the people wanting to speak? Because it feels like in our industry, we are just being faced with locusts are probably next because we've got fires and we've got material shortages and now we've got labor shortages and, we're great. We're booking into December, but it just feels like we're all facing just this myriad of difficulties. And are you seeing anything special coming up in the seminars you'd want to mention that people who are looking for an answer? I was so excited about the windows. We are diversifying into home solutions. Same story as we've got to have other avenues of revenue that may provide stability in an area when roofing slows down or vice versa. Are you seeing anything in seminars that you would recommend for anybody that's looking for some help with that stability?
I know that we have a very robust, educational, track, coming together. And I'm not as familiar with all the courses that are, they're currently going because we're in the, some have been confirmed and some were, still confirming. So if you'll, I have to sort of direct you to the website to kind of to look a little bit more, on our specific courses. But I know that we are trying to, bring as much information as we can that's helpful to all the different aspects of the business. So, I know that's sort of a indirect way to answer the question, but like I said, we're still sort of building the program, and we'll, in the next couple of weeks, like I said, all that will be finalized, and you can find out that information on the website.
And Wendy, that is such a great comment and great feedback too, because I'm sure Brandy is watching all this and listening. I know Shelby and Megan are too. That's really something to consider, since we have a little bit of time now. It's really talking about we all want to be COVID. We want to be like, it's done, but it's not, and we need to talk about it. We need to have some strategies. So.
Yeah, and Brandy's the best. Like you mentioned, like I said, I'm new to this industry, and I have to say that the roofing people, the manufacturers, the attendees. I mean, they truly are the nicest group of people to work with, and for both my team and and the industry. They're just fantastic people, and they're fun, and they're interesting, and they're welcoming. And again, we're trying to just create this environment to keep that happening. So and the education part is is a very key part of that. Like I said, I have a great team led by Brandy that that puts the program together. So I'm sure she's working towards that, and like I said, we'll have all that information up online for you very soon. Some of it's already there.
Perfect. Hey, Wendy, thank you. And you're perfect. You brought us right to the top of the hour. I think, Ray, you've had some great testimonials here too from some of what I consider the leaders in the industry who are really encouraging everyone to attend. Be there in April. We'll all be there, and watch the IRE on the roofingexpo.com. Watch Roofers Coffee Shop. We put everything out. They have, as you can see in the background, a full directory for the IRE with all the information. And we're going to all be together again. It may be a while, but we'll all be together again. So, Ray, thank you so much for being here today on Coffee Conversations. Thank you for the power outages, the fires, everything, and you still made it. And Wendy, thank you for that final question. Ray, any last words?
Thank you all, and see you in April. Stay safe.
See you in April. And next week, be sure to join us. Actually, not next week, but the week after next, on the 24th, we are going to have Tom Shanahan from NRCA here talking about the new health plan. A health plan. NRCA is coming out with it. It's going to hit here first on Coffee Conversations. So be sure to sign up, register, and we'll see you then. Have a great day. Thank you, Ray. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.